What's going on, guys? It's DigiWatch, and I hope you're having a great October. This is really great that we have a new set to discuss, and today we're going to be going over the Minerva loop, aka Cerberusmon Rush or Minerva Rush, whatever you want to call it. It is a very fun deck, I will admit. I have probably one of the most. This is one of the decks I have the most fun playing. If you're looking for something that maybe is going to be, I guess you can say, like a 1.5 deck, I think this is it. I definitely have to do more testing with it, but with the testing I've done, it's amazing how consistent this deck is. But if you play or you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments section below. With that said, let's get into it. So starting off the eggs, we are playing 4 copies of Minervamon. What basically on deletion, you draw 1, trash 1. You want to trash a lot in this deck. This is the best egg. I don't think there's any reason to play another one. But if you truly want to, you could play Pagumon over here. Pagumon is when attacking, trash the top 2 of your deck. I guess you can play it as a 5th egg. I have taken it out of rotation for a bit, and just playing the Demi Mirrors because I do get this sometimes, and I'm like, okay, well, there's no reason for it. So yeah, that is the egg lineup over here. Going into our level 3s, we are playing 4 copies of Gabumon. This is a inherited effect of trigger draw 2, trash 1. Again, you want to trash in your deck. This is why it's here. You go basically on top of this into your level 4s, and hopefully you can swing into their security and hopefully die. We are playing some floodgates in this deck as well. Psychmon and Gazimon. Gazimon here is going to be to basically stop memory gains, especially against stuff like Blue, stuff like Jessamon. These are going to be able to stop your opponent from gaining a lot of memory, which is always good. And then of course you have Psychmon. Psychmon's good to be good against the Digimon that hard play. So this is a very good card to kind of tech in this meta as well. I might even consider bumping up to 4 and this to 2 if the meta ends up to be that way. Going into our level 4s, we have 4 copies of the Eismon Scatter Mode. Still, I think one of the best level 4s in the game. Just being able to swing into your opponent's stuff and draw 3, trash 2 is just, I think, just too good to pass up. I think if you were going to play an alternative, maybe Doberman. But other than that, I do think this is a pretty good choice for drawing 3 and trashing 2. And when you attack with the perfect stack of Demi Mirror and the Gabumon and this, you're drawing essentially, I think, 6 cards and trashing 3 of them. I think trash 2, 3, 4, 4 cards out of that. And there are cards you want to trash in this deck. And I will show the Minerva loop when we are done. We are playing 1 copy of the Eismon because we are only at 1 Eismon. But yeah, when it's trash from hand, you can play it out. You can play the next card over here, Genkaku Promote, on top of it for 1 to be able to have it attack the same turn because Genkaku has Rush. Then we are playing 2 copies of the Demimon. Now, it is a blocker, which is kind of nice because there aren't really many blockers, and blockers are kind of honestly a little slow right now. But for 1 Digivolution, you can either choke your opponent or be able to Digivolve very easily on the same turn into your level 5, which is what we want to get up to as soon as we can. So that is our level 4 lineup right now. Again, as you can see, there's not that many over here that we have that are level 3s and 4s, and that's partially the reason because you could hard play these out. You're really just doing it to have draws or put in inherit in raising, but for 4 costs to play most of these cards out, like the scatter modes, it's too easy to just hard play and like just swing and hopefully you do want to die in most cases. Then we are playing our level 5 package. We are playing the Cerberusmon. You're part of the win con of this deck, and the other one, the werewolf mode. So basically what this is when it's deleted, trash 2, draw 2, trash 1. And then Cerberus mode is when you can hard play this card. It has Rush, and when it's played, you can delete a Cerberusmon to gain 9 memory, essentially. So this is where the loop will come in later. And we'll talk about basically you're trying to kill your Cerberusmon to be able to swing with this one in the same turn, or hopefully Digivolve into the next cards we'll talk about in a sec. We are playing 1 Lucemon Chaos Mode because this is just a very, very powerful card. Whether you have it in your hand Gets rid of level 6s, gets rid of Tamers. You can play it multiple times based on this loop, and just tailor however you like it to be with this deck. So yeah, that is our level 5 lineup. And again, I will show this combo right toward the end. We are playing a couple of different level 6s. We were playing one Nidhogg. Nidhogg, when trash from hand, gain a memory. So it's just an easy way of getting an extra memory. But that's like just a one of. This could be anything. This could be a flex spot if you really wanted it to be. Then we are playing the star of the show, Minerva, over here. So minervamon at 4, I think, is a mandatory to have. If you don't know what this card does, it is really crazy. First off, I will say anytime your opponent plays a card, hard plays a card, you can bring back a level 4 or lower from your trash to play it. It has retaliation all turns, and then when your opponent has 2 or less Digimon in play, if this Digimon is deleted, you can bring back a level 5. Now keep in mind that I said it brings back a level 5, and there was no restriction I added to that. So you can actually play this, play the level 5 and gain the on-play effect of it, which is a very, very powerful thing that we're going to talk about in just a second. We are playing the original OG, Lilith. When you play her, you can bring back, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you can pick 2 purple option cards and add them to your hand. And then when you play an option card, you can gain 2 additional memory from that once per turn. This is very good because it does allow you to get continue your turn sometimes. These are all 3 costs of Digivolve. Lilith is not absolutely needed in this deck, but it is a very, very good card to have in case you are in a situation where you need to, essentially extend your turn. Maybe there's other cards you need to play. So yeah, that is our level 6 lineup over here. Then for our level 7, and this is really just because I will say I only have a few of these, so bear with me. I am playing one Death Xmon. Yeah, you can Digivolve on top and gain the effect, but also hard playing this out and just being able to clear board and having them deal with another problem is just very, very powerful. So that's our Digimon lineup. Then I have our Tamers. We have one Matt. Matt can recycle any purple card in your trash, so that is very good with this deck. And sometimes you need to recycle something like a Call by the Grave, or Call from the Darkness, or what's it called, Jack Raid, or whatever else you're going to gain, or just a Digimon in general to have in hand. Although most of the time I'm using this to set my memory to 3 and also be able to return an option to my hand. We are playing 2 Analog Youths because you can trash 2 cards from it. It will allow you to gain memory, sometimes even allowing you to keep it your turn, and also being able to open your Digi breeding area if you need it, hatching an egg. This one, I'm still trying to figure out if there's other cards that might be a better fit for here. Personally, one of the things I was considering is playing a Mimi. The purple Mimi's in here instead. Being able to gain memory to reduce the cost of some of the option cards we play, because some of them are very expensive. But I am still just testing and seeing what works and what doesn't. But that is what we're doing here for our Tamers. Now we're going to go into our cards over here for options, and then I'll show you the loop afterwards. So first off, we were playing 2 Deathclaw. This is delete one of your Digimon to delete one of your Digimon in order to delete one of your opponent's Digimon. So this is your 1 cost option to be able to delete Digimon on their side of the field that may be stopping you from doing things, such as playing like a Solarmon, or that stops you from hard playing or reducing cost, or Gazimon, like if you're playing against another deck that has Gazimon or a memory blocker. This is your way of getting rid of small problems on the field. Very good tech. I was playing at 1. I absolutely recommend playing at 2 though. I feel like it's absolutely necessary. We are playing 2 Miss Memory Boosts because trashing 2, drawing 1, and then also keeping memory for later if needed is just very, very important in this deck. I think you have to play at least 2 in this deck for it to really work out well in your favor. Then we are playing the card that really makes this deck a loop deck is the Revive from the Darkness option. We're playing at 4, so we always want to make sure that we have this card when the loop goes off. Basically what it says is you can delete one of your Digimon, purple Digimon, then you can play 1 level 5 purple Digimon from your trash without paying its memory cost, and then any unplayed effects do not activate. Now it's good because you just need this to bring back Cerberusmon for the rest of the combo to trigger, and this is very very important to be able to play the deck over there. Sorry, the computer just turned black for a second. We are playing 3 copies of Jack Raid because I feel like it's that important. Late game, you are trying to late game rush your opponent, so you do definitely need 3 in my opinion, being able to keep your turn. And sometimes you play this and you gain 3 memory for 0 cost. It's really good. It's too good to pass up. 1 Calling from the Darkness, it's going to be recycled, and most of the time like if you're missing 1 piece, you can play it without anything on the board, gain back whatever you need from your trash, and then be able to play this again. This could even grab you to Death X if you absolutely needed it. And then, of course, we are playing 1 tech in here. This is Back for Revenge. If you don't know what this does, this makes sure you survive your check. So, essentially, let's say you have a Cerberusmon, you promote the Cerberusmon, and you're a little worried. You're like, oh, okay, well, like, what if he blocks? What if he has something that can do something to my card? Well, you can swing with Cerberusmon, and if it gets deleted, basically its effect is it brings it right back. It gains 1 deletion, play this card, which is why this card is very very good, and it's a 2 cost to play. I am only testing it at 1 right now, but I might bump it up depending on how well the whole deck does. That's essentially the whole deck in a nutshell. Now I'll go over the combo, and really all you need for this are 4 main cards. First, you'll need Revive from the Darkness. You'll need Cerberusmon, Werewolf Mode. You'll need the regular Cerberusmon, and then you'll need Minerva. Now, it helps more if you have more cards that can delete your own cards, as well as cards that can delete, make sure you can return back the Minerva if needed. But basically what it is you're going to have this stack here. And let's assume your opponent, and I think in terms of memory, you at least need 3 memory to make the loop active, at least for 2 hits. So what you're going to do is you're going to promote this out, and you could always take the risk so you get your opponent's security, but if you lose this check, you lose. So instead, what you're going to do is you're going to try to win that by playing the Cerberusmon Werewolf Mode, pop this out, this goes to trash. You draw your 2, and then you can swing with this if you absolutely need to. But you essentially need 3 memory for this to truly work. So you're going to Digivolve on top of minervamon over here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to play, and let's say now you're at 0 memory, just to make it even. So you're 0 memory, you play Revive from the Darkness. Revive from the Darkness is going to delete Minervamon. Now keep in mind that this effect will only trigger if your opponent has 2 or less Digimon in play. It will not if they have more than that, so if they go too wide, you'll have to find a way of getting rid of their smaller Digimon. But basically, Minervamon will be over here. You can swing, it has retaliation, so if it dies in battle, it dies. But you do 1 check with this, you play the Revive from the Darkness. Revive from the Darkness will delete Minervamon. Minervamon will go to the trash. You'll revive back to Cerberusmon. Cerberusmon does not get on any on-play effects, but it doesn't have any anyway. But Minervamon does bring it back, and it does not stop the on-play effect. So you'll bring the Cerberusmon Werewolf Mode out, and remember you just paid 4, so maybe your opponent is at 4, but because you played the Werewolf Mode, you're going to gain 9 back, so now you're going to go back to 5 on your side by killing this card here. And that's essentially loop, so you're going to be at 5 memory now. And then this will depend. You'll draw 2, and hopefully you draw into more pieces. So maybe you draw another Minervamon, and you can swing with it again, or you can Digivolve again for 3 into Minervamon. And if you have something like another Revive from the Darkness, you can trigger it again. So you play the second Revive from the Darkness from your hand, or you swing at this, and hopefully it dies, and then you bring back like your Werewolf Mode. Or if not, you can just loop it again. Play the Revive, bring back the Cerberusmon. Again, you are now at 5 memory because you gained 9 last turn. You bring back this one, so now you're at 1 by paying this over here. Minervamon gets killed, brings back this, pops this, and now because you're at 1, now you're going back to 10. And now this is where, again, now you're at 10 memory, and you could just continuously loop it. So truthfully, you only need 3 memory to promote out your Cerberusmon, or even Digivolve and raising the Minervamon and promote it out so that you can continue your game. and you just keep looping it. You keep swinging, and either they're gonna die from security check. Now, what does kill this card, unfortunately, is cards like hammer, like memory boost. Sorry, it's not memory. Stuff that will bounce the hand or deck. That really kind of stops. Well, that really is one of Purple's weaknesses in general. And this is a very fun deck, in my opinion. I've had so much fun playing this deck and swinging and unsuspending swinging or playing the Reflect in Darkness, just going up to 9 again every turn, just being able to have more plays. I could even at one point, I think you could play this literally for 9 if you're at 0. If you're at 10 memory, you play it for 9 and just swing. That's how good this deck is that you can go up to 10 in some cases. I love this deck. I've never been a Lilith Loop player, but this is making me want to wish I was. With that said, please like, subscribe, leave your thoughts below on what you'd like to see next. Please let me know any suggestions you have. And I hope you have a wonderful October, and I'm glad that we are now in BT10, although we do get a new set in like 3 weeks.